Now let's spend a little bit of time detailing the hands and the feet of our character. So this is 12 begin. If you want to go from here, let's now concentrate here on the fingers. And let's start to break this up a little bit. So I'm going to take my brush size down. I want to make sure that mirroring is still turned on. And I'll use sculpt, and I want to, again, use that last vector displacement stamp. And I want to just kind of try to build in some of this division here, kind of figure out where I want things. So I'm going to dial the brush strength up a little bit. And so here at the base of the fingers, I'll kind of draw in kind of a wrinkle coming across here. Let's kind of do the same thing coming in here across the base of this hand, and kind of just start to define kind of the masses of this hand, kind of around the wrist here. You can do that as well. Around the kind of the base of this would be kind of this thumb. Okay, we can use grab if we want to kind of get away from this look and kind of make it a little bit more natural looking. Can start to just break this up a little bit. We also want to define the joints here, so we can come in and say, okay, I think there's going to be a kind of a joint there and maybe one here. And so we can use this to kind of define those and just get it sort of blocked out there. Okay, we can also come in, and it's a little off as far as the shape on top, so we can come in and tweak that shape. And if we need to go down a subdivision level to tweak that shape, we can do that too. Kind of bring up where those knuckles are, just to add a little bit more shape. Let's also raise up this, what would be kind of the knuckle area on the hand itself. Kind of bring that up and down, and just generally add a little bit of shape to our fingers. Okay, if we want to make them a little bit longer and pointier, we can kind of do that. We can also come in with wax and start to add some detail here, maybe coming back from the knuckles into the wrist. We can add sort of some structure in there. And let's add a little bit of structure for the base of the thumb here by pulling this out with grab. Kind of pull this out a little bit. It doesn't have to be kind of an exact human hand. It's not. It's got 3 fingers, but we can add a little bit of that detail to make it seem a little bit more realistic. So come in here maybe with a stronger brush strength and kind of draw in those wrinkles along the base of kind of this thumb here. We can kind of do the same thing maybe inside here, and just start to define this area just a little bit more. Maybe coming in along the thumb and adding a little bit more detail in here. Let's add a kind of a joint coming in up here, and then we'll use grab to define that joint from the top. So something like that. I'm not really going to give him any sort of claws or fingernails. We do want to give him some kind of claws, because the idea is that he's climbing up this fabric. He's very small, so we want him to have these sort of pointy claws. So I think this last joint here, I want to turn into a claw. And so let's just continue on with the joint that we created, and we'll continue it up and around, just to kind of define that a little bit more. We'll do the same thing sort of up here. Okay, and we can go to our higher level, and if we want to use the grab brush, we can sort of come down here and just pull out some of our sort of claws here. I can smooth this down and sort of pinch in the end a little bit more, and then I can kind of shape it a little bit from here. We'll do the same thing for this one. Kind of pull it down and out. If you want to give it a little bit more curvature, we can do that too. Maybe this one's not as sharp, but we'll kind of pull it down, and we can pinch the end of it in a little bit more as well. And then on this one, we'll do the same thing here. So just kind of defining the end point of that claw, and then we'll take the grab brush and kind of pull it out. Okay, kind of smoothing it as we go. And we can pinch that end down a little bit more. All right, and I'm going to just define the wrist a little bit better. So kind of coming in here and just defining a little bit more of a connection with this wrist so it looks a little bit more realistic. Then we can come in and if we want to just kind of bulge things out, we can use bulge to kind of bulge out this part of the hand right in here. I give it a little bit more mass, a little bit more fleshy kind of a look under the thumb as well. So it's not just super thin right in there. We can also go back and extend those wrinkles kind of around the sides of the hand to make it kind of work together a little bit better. Okay, so you end up with something like that. And we just want to do the same thing for the feet. So coming in here, we can use grab to kind of define the feet. We'll make the feet very similar, almost the same. We'll have claws in there as well. We can kind of round off the bottom. If we go down to our lower level, kind of round it off a little bit. I don't want to round it totally off, but we can use this lower level to tweak this geometry of the foot and kind of make the ankle a little bit thicker. Kind of smooth this out. And then I'd again start to kind of define those joints in here. So coming in along the base. Same thing with the bottom of the foot here. Just kind of start to define that. And then you can do the same thing with the claws. So I'm just going to kind of define these toe joints, and then we can come in with wax, sort of add a little bit of structure coming back up into the ankle there. You can see it's really still kind of blocky, and so on here, down here on the back side, we could come in and just take this down a little bit. Okay, we can go up to our highest level. If you want to use scrape, that's kind of the opposite of wax. It'll let you just kind of scrape off material. That may be a better way for you to take down some of this material in here. But really, we just want to treat the foot kind of the same way that we treated the hand as far as adding the detail. So you can come in and add your claws. So I would come in and kind of define that outer joint there. Let's kind of do the same thing up here. Okay, and then using grab, just kind of again pull those out. So pretty much the same concept. So kind of just pulling those out, maybe making them a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit more of a curve to them. If you want to kind of sharpen up the end, you could use pinch if you wanted to. You can see it's kind of gotten off axis, so I can kind of pull it back over and continue to shape that. And it is an organic character, so you don't have to worry too much about getting things perfect. We just want them to look appealing. So I come in and create those little claws there. All right, so spend a few minutes working on the hands, adding a little bit of detail to the hands, and then also kind of move down to the feet. Or if you want to do the feet first, you can do that. And just kind of add a little bit of detail here to just make it fit and look a little bit more realistic. Okay, so once we've got the hands and the feet detailed, in the next lesson, let's add some geometry for the eyes so that we can begin sculpting the area around those eyes. So we'll go ahead and do that next.